Jordan Cox ruled out of Test series with fractured thumb. England wicketkeeper batter Jordan Cox has been ruled out of the Test series in New Zealand with a fractured thumb after being struck on the hand in the nets. Cox was set to debutise for Jamie Smith behind the stumps in a three-match series against the Black Caps, which begins in Christchurch on Thursday, but England will now be forced into a rethink. The Essex player was sent for X-rays after being pinned on the right glove ahead of Day 2 of England's sole warm-up game against a New Zealand Prime Minister's 11 in Queenstown. England later confirmed the extent of the injury, with head coach Brandon McCullum saying after Cox was denied a Test debut, "I'm gutted for Jordan. He has been shaping up nicely, both with the bat and gloves, since we got to New Zealand. That's sport, and unfortunately, these things happen. We will get around him and look after him. He is resilient, and his time will come at some point in the future." Which wicketkeepers could England turn to? Ollie Pope stood in as wicketkeeper, a position he has filled 3 times in his 52 tests, against the New Zealand Prime Minister's 11, and may do so again in the first test with Jacob Bethel coming into the 11 for his debut, but a replacement for Cox will be called up in due course. England white ball wicketkeeper Phil Salt is currently playing in the Abu Dhabi T10 tournament and could be a candidate to step in. Johnny Bairstow is also playing in that competition and does still possess an England central contract, although the national team seem to have moved on from him in all formats. Ben Foakes, who was not awarded a deal when the latest central contracts update was announced in October, is also an option, if an unlikely one, with Durham's Ollie Robinson and Somerset's James Rew perhaps more probable selections. Anderson fields as England short of players. Cox has not kept wicket in first-class cricket since July 2023 after a gruesome finger injury, although he did take the gloves for England on Day 1 in Queenstown and claimed a catch off Gus Atkinson. The 24-year-old's knock in the nets on Sunday, coupled with Bethel and Rehan Ahmed not linking up with the squad until Monday after playing in the recent white ball series in the West Indies, meant England had to call upon bowling mentor James Anderson as a substitute fielder for a short period. Skipper Ben Stokes also took to the field at John Davies Oval after opting to sit out Day 1 of the fixture, which ended in a draw. Stokes went on to score 59 from 39 deliveries and Joe Root hit an unbeaten 82 as England made 196-9 in their second innings to end up 5 runs from their victory target, after the hosts declared on 313-5 second time around. Ward, I expect England to pick Robinson's key sports Ian Ward on Jordan Cox's injury. Cox would have been thrilled to be going to New Zealand, so he'll be absolutely gutted. It was a fantastic opportunity for him to lay down his credentials, but injury has robbed him of that. I don't think England will go back to Foakes at all, or Bairstow, so I think the obvious one is Durham's Ollie Robinson. I think it was a toss-up between him and Cox as to who was to go down to New Zealand for this series. Whether or not Robinson will get there in time for the first test. He probably won't. Pope will have to keep, and that will bring in a different challenge for them to balance the batting order. So where does Pope bat? For a short-term gig he probably can keep and bat at no 3, but not for any length of time. To lumber Pope with the gloves would be another challenge for him if he's going to stay at no 3. It's a significant disruption, and I think that was perhaps a fault in the initial selection not to have a spare wicketkeeper. England went with the extra spinner, bizarrely. I don't think lots of spin is going to be needed in this series.